Okay, testing. Ooh, okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the top 10, make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, top 10 not appreciated RPGs on the PS1. One of the golden ages. I commonly consider the 16-bit and 32-bit age of gaming the golden ages of gaming. I probably would lean more on the 16-bit as being the better, but it's argumentative. But I'm sure there's no doubt someone could agree that one of those two ages is one of the more better ages of our time gaming. But anyway, I want to go over some RPGs that I think people don't talk about anymore, or rarely talked about compared to other big names such as Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and such. These are some, arguably some are more unknown than others. So, start off with probably the most iffy argument on an RPG scale. Now, these aren't like all pure turn-based RPGs. Some of them are mixed RPGs, like tactics, action, and that's going to be our first one that I'm referring to that most people might yell, "It's not an RPG" argument. And it's mostly an action game. Yes, it is, but it does have a number of RPG elements. Brave Fencer Musashi for the PlayStation 1 by Squaresoft. This came to me in a very special time and need. I always experience this kind of withdrawal period. Well, I just don't get that exciting kick from games at the moment. And Brave Fencer Musashi came at a really nice age, because it was when I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, which is ironic when it comes with a demo. See? Demo of Final Fantasy. You probably can't see it. The text is so freaking small now. But anyway, Brave Fencer Musashi is a very fun and memorable game. It's funny. It's pretty, simple. I mean, it's not insanely complex. It has pretty nice elements inside distractions, saving people, and actually a few nice twists and plots, and very, very silly humor. I just nibbling some of those villains. I mean, there's even literally a DDR boss in this game near the end. One of the final bosses is a DDR boss. Hilarious. But, it's definitely something worth looking up. I don't think it's really well. I could be wrong. I haven't actually looked at Brave Fencer Musashi's price tag in a very long time, because this was actually a present to me. And I was very happy with it. It really enthusiastically made me happy again. So anyway, there are some recurring titles on here, by the way. So I ain't gonna go into vast details on them, since I did do a top 10 unknown RPGs I have beaten. So, Breath of Fire 3. I've already added this on there, and, well, it's really a title that I think, Breath of Fire is really a series I think it's just starting to settle underground. I mean, back in its time, it was known, but I feel like it's starting to lay buried because Capcom hasn't touched the franchise aside from porting this version to the PSP, but last time I ever checked, that was Japan only. Didn't come out in America. I think it might have came out in Europe, though. Lucky bastards. I need to start moving in Europe at this rate. Definitely one of my early experiences of RPGs on the PS1, and it's a very memorable one. Legend Dragoon, I don't remember, did I put it on that list, or did I mean, it is very well known and also unwell known. It's definitely down there and unknown, but when you're talking about unknown RPGs, the odds are it's probably one of the more memorable unknown RPGs, if you catch my drift. But it's definitely a very unique and bizarre RPG. Legend of Dragoon, it features a different kind of battle system. It's kinda, you could say, reminiscent of Super Mario RPG and The Legend of the Seven Stars. Well, it's basically time-based, but in Super Mario RPG, you're looking for a specific movement of the sprite to hit and block. In Legend of Dragoon, you just get you get like a thing that swirls around the screen, and it matches a shape, and that's just telling you to hit the button now. So it's kind of like quick time events, you could say, at the same time. It's not as bad as it sounds. To be honest, I suck at it, but I beat the game, so it can't be that bad, can it? Plus, of course, it helps all the different characters all have different kind of styles in the time. Like, I really liked the martial artist dude who wore purple. I can't remember his name. Booklets. Where is the booklets? I demand the characters. No, not the character moves, the characters. Tell me there was nowhere with the characters? Really? Really? Come on. There's somebody with the characters. Really? Alright, here we go. Hashol. I'm probably saying that absolutely wrong. But anyway, I liked his art style the best out of all the characters. But anyway, at least I could do his moves the best, is what I'm saying. But Azure Dragoon is insanely cheap the last time I ever seen copies of it for sale. I don't know about this day and age because it has been a while, but it's a very memorable game, and it's sadly being way underlooked by Sony's potential. And it's a whooping 4 CDs of content. It's a very excellent RPG that deserves love. Now, here's an RPG that I like that a lot of Americans don't like. The SaGa franchise has always been an iffy subject when it comes to America. Specifically, the one I'm talking about is SaGa Frontier. One of my favorite entries in the Time series. Aside from the first game, Romancing Saga 2, this is probably my third favorite Saga game. It features an astounding array of main characters, tons of content, tons of side things, and just different story and plots, and several of them merged together here and there. And it even features post-content where you can basically fight all the bosses and shit with mixed up parties. You wouldn't actually be possible in the normal gameplay. So there's a lot of options and shit. And what's even more amazing is the fact this game was technically not actually finished. There was more content on the disc that ain't even touchable unless you use hacking, unlocking, cheating devices. And even then, there was still more content that was cut to get the game to release. And some story elements were also cut that were arranged in a novel book for the game's story. Pretty interesting history behind the game. It's very 2D dimensional in that, and it's really fun. It's a little bizarre because all the Saga games are usually bizarre. There ain't really too many of them that are absolutely normal. They all have interesting elements to them, but definitely one I'd say worth picking up, and it has a lot of content for multiple characters in that. There are certain events in that repeat themselves, like when you're doing the quest for like the powerful magic and that. You know, you could do the Time War, and you know you can basically do him in all of them. So, you know. But anyway, going on. Grandia. Now, this is probably another more well-known, unknown type RPG. Grandia 1 is a bit dated for its time. And I'd hate to say that, but it is getting a little dated. But it is still enjoyable, and it has unique aspects to it still that, well, carried on into all the Grandia games, except for, well, I don't know how much. I do have the Magic Dungeon game that's on the PS2, Grandia Extreme. I haven't played that, so I'm not sure how faithful that is in the staples of Grandia. But pretty much a lot of the staples carried on even to the third game, so. And I beat in the first and second game, but I just never got to finishing the first one. I got like, I'd say probably halfway, I'm not sure. I got to a village where everyone was petrified. Not sure how far that is, but that's where I stopped. I really should get back to it. But it is a fun and good game, and definitely worth your time. Last time I remember, this was a valuable game. So, I'm not sure how easy it is to get your hands on it. Now, here's another one I've already went over, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it here. And Brigandine, The Legend of Fasan. It was a game bought over by Atlas, and it is a very, very fun game. I mean, the artwork's pretty nice too. But it's a tactics game, and it's a very interesting one. Because basically, you basically have a map, and there are multiple nations on that map, and you have to conquer them all. It has a lot of interesting, and it's a very long game. Very, very long game, especially if you pick one of the harder nations to participate in. This game is not available as the download, which is probably one of the reasons it's vastly rare. Last time I ever saw it goes for like $200. I don't know if it's gone cheaper or not over the years, but last time I ever saw it, it was extremely rare and hard and expensive, and I was really happy to get it. Ironically, this was one of the first games I ever got at a GameStop. Perhaps back when it was somewhat decent, before throwing the shit. But anyway. That was always a nice find. Now here's another old game Atlas Bible. Thousand Arms. Thousand Arms is a bit of a traditional turn-based RPG, but it also has a strange mechanic to it. Basically, you have 3 party members, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yes, you have 3 party members in you in battle. But the thing is, only 1 party member can be out in front. And then someone's skills can be used in the back row. And then someone's skills can also attack everything. Well, at least I think there were skills you could use in the back row. But there were someone's skills that could attack everything and that, so there were some interesting and weird things that. It's also it's a hybrid of a dating sim game, and it's actually a very integral part of the gameplay, because it's not like, I just have relationships and, have like 500 girlfriends. No. It's an integral part, because it's the feelings and emotion the main character has with other characters that allows him to temper and strengthen people's weapons. It's an integral part of the gameplay. And there's a lot of bizarre characters to meet. The end twist was kind of weird, to be honest, but pretty good RPG. I'm not sure how well it is either. I got mine like for $20 a long time ago. Now here's a game I remember renting from. This was the first game I ever rented from Blockbuster, and I was hooked on the game. Azure Dreams by Konami. It's a rogue magic dungeon style game with Pokemon elements to it, where you can get monster eggs, hatch them, and have the monsters come with you. Now, in the old fashion of rogue games, the main character levels down every time he leaves the dungeon, or in this case, it's a tower. Now, the thing is, the monsters don't. So the concept is to make your gear and monsters better, so you can do your final one to get to the top of the tower. It's really good, and probably, in my opinion, one of the best rogue games out there. There are a lot of rogue games, but I really like, there's a vast amount of content. The whole kind of Pokemon aspect's pretty nice. You can involve the town. There's another dating sim kind of thing in the game, but it's just basically getting girls to fall in love with you, not too much in detail. You don't get married or anything like that. You have a rival. There's a good number of activities to keep the game interesting, unlike some really old rogue games that don't have a lot of side content, so it gets a little boring going through the dungeon over again. Now, another game I remember, this one I did definitely put on my previous list, Legend of Legaia, if I'm pronouncing right. I do have the sequel, if I didn't mention that in my previous video. This is a very interesting RPG to just reiterate a little if you never saw that previous video. Basically, it's an RPG fighting game where you basically choose punch, kick, and stuff, and you do combinations of all that stuff, and you can make special moves that deal more damage. There's also a magic system where you summon different monsters that are basically the magic of the game. But overall, it's a pretty interesting game. it has a few dated elements to it. I remember it being pretty lengthy though, and I remember the final boss was pretty fucking hard for me. I remember that being really freaking hard. Maybe I sucked, but I don't know. But anyway, good game. I don't think it's expensive, so that one should be pretty easy to get. And the final game, and by the way, these are no particular order, but this final game I really did actually intentionally put at the end of this. Now, it's kind of hard to pronounce. Koudelka. I don't know. You take it. You take your guess at it. Get the light out of there. It would be Koudelkia. The journey, the will to survive, and the whole. This bizarre RPG is by SNK. Well, it was published. Well, I think it was made by SNK, but it was published by Infogamers, who are known for the Alone in the Dark series. This RPG is bizarre because it belongs to a very rarely done sub-genre of RPGs. Survival horror RPGs. A interesting mix that I really like. Now, basically, you have weapons and things that break, and you're running around in kind of like a Resident Evil kind of environment with monsters and shit. And battles are turn-based with a small tactical grid. It's a little tactics, but not complicated tactics. I think it's a 3x3 grid, if I remember quickly, or it might be slightly bigger, but it's not insanely big. And it's mainly controls like a turn-based RPG with a little tacticsness to it. But you got weapons that break and stuff, and limited resources. You don't just go to some guy and get bazillions of gold and buy 5 million potions and stuff. This is a RPG of survival, and it's actually something I'm widely considering the Let's Play. Out of all these games, there are ones I haven't beaten, and the ones I haven't beaten, at least fully, and it's not too many. It's this, SaGa Frontier, and Grandia, which I always said. The reason I never beat SaGa Frontier is, well, there's a lot of killers. I've beaten Blue and Loot. Got the end of Wiki T260G and the Mystic chick, Alicia? Yeah, I'm so horrible at pronouncing names. I don't think I was anywhere close to Lena's end, and Wed, I don't think I was close to his end either. But I did beat some of the kills, but I wouldn't really consider the game fully beaten unless I beat all the kills. But this is a game I'm really interested in possibly Let's Playing, because it's a very interesting game, and it comes on a whooping 4 discs. But I hear the game is actually pretty short. It's also the first game in, what is it called? There were sequels, but they were called something else. It was Shadow something. They're all on the PS2. I can't remember what they called that. The lady in the middle appears in the first one. And I think she appears some in some of the other ones of that. I can't quite remember. Somebody will probably refresh my memory on that. But I never once out of all the games I just shown, I've never once ever heard anyone refer to this game before. Not once. Now, it's arguable whether these games are perfect, good, or just unappreciated, or have some flaws, but unique aspects that make them interesting. But all these other games, I've seen on lists and things before. I've actually, you want to know how I discovered this game too? And it had nothing to do with those PS2 ones, the sequel ones. I have solely just saw this in store one day, and I was like, what is this? And I'm like, a gothic horror RPG setting in the 19th century, an epic tale of murder, mystery, mayhem, a beautiful yet troubled woman who is summoned to unveil it all. Now, of course, at this time, I have played titles like, titles like Sweet Home and Breath of Fire 5. And, of course, I know some people don't like Breath of Fire 5. It's not, it's not like the highest thing on my list, but I did find it an interesting game. And though I don't find it very horrorish, it's definitely a survival game. So it might not be horror, but it's survival. And I like the survival idea. It's very interesting in an RPG. But the problem is, of course, finding that right balance so it doesn't become too unfair, but at the same time don't become pathetically easy. But anyway, I'm rambling on probably a little too much. So I hope everyone liked the list, and I hope you found something interesting to check out in the future. I know I always like looking at top 10, top 5 lists and that, and always find out about an interesting game I might have never heard of. But it's always more rare for me personally, but I still sometimes find something I never heard of once in a while. Like the people at GameSack. I found a few interesting TurboGrafx games I never knew of. Thanks, guys. But anyway, if you got any questions or anything, leave a comment. And I love hearing comments. I do have a few other videos planned for this weekend. Hopefully, I'm sorry about the last week. I've been busy with other things and that, but hopefully everything will be good now and that. And I hope you keep checking out new videos and that. And thank you for viewing, my dear viewers. Congratulations on 100 subscribers. Also, I'm sorry. Awkward. Okay.